So which one? It's, I mean, in market it's RDBMS. It's, I mean, more likely, I mean, everybody use because of the current data size and the data collection is a huge, and we saw that, I mean, so many features about RDBMS. I think you both remember yesterday when we were talking about something like COTS rules, normalization, that and all. So COTS rule, it's, I mean, very much important when we come to the RDBMS. Just I give you the, I mean, some couple of points just for the, I mean, understanding. The Eckhart Fran Cots, he is the person, actually he was an employee at IBM. Basically he is from England and settled at the US. When he was working for IBM, he found a concept about the relational database, relational model. So when he tried to implement in the database, IBM did not accept. They told that it won't work. But this guy immediately he went to directly to the customer and he described that this is how it will work, this is what, so you will get, I mean, more clarity in the data sets, data and all. So finally, customer forced IBM to implement. They implemented in the different tool that is called SQL. They started as a SQL. That is how the, I mean, database concept, relational database concept implemented first time. By the time Cots and Larry, who is the founder of Oracle, they met, and the Cots, he shared so many things about relational database and the relational model. Then Larry, he thought it is good, so he implemented in Oracle. Then IBM DB2. So it became very success. So even Oracle, it's #1 in market in database. The only reason COTS rule, they implemented all COTS rule, everything except one. As yesterday I told, we have 12 COTS rule. Actually, it starts from 0 to 12. We have to tell 13, but they used to tell COTS rule 12. So out of 13 rules, only one unable to implement in Oracle database. That is, whenever we update view, I mean, suppose consider I created one view. View, it's nothing but we are giving alias name for the any query, whether it be a simple or complex. But when it is a simple view, yes, it can able to update the data in the database directly. But when we create a query with, I mean, at least 5-6 table joining together and keeping some arithmetic functions and group by some calculation, by the time when they try to update the particular record by using view, in later we can understand what I am trying to say when we discuss about view. So unable to update. So that is the only thing, they are unable to succeed to implement all rules. But apart from that, the Oracle one has almost like out of 13, 12 rule implemented. I think SQL Server, they support some 7 or 8. That's it, the second level. That is how they used to tell. So I think you have some idea about the COTS rule. And apart from normalization, we have so many. The same person who is caught, he only implemented normalization. They call first, second, and third. These three normalization implemented by again COTS. He only implemented, but after third, his friend boy, so that is why they called BCNF. Sorry, BCNF. enough. So boycott normalization they tell. So the boy and cot, two people they join together to come up with simplifying the normalization. So that's why after third normalization they call BCNF. After that recently then again they came with fourth normalization and fifth normalization. So we are not going in deep, but just I am telling that what is that the 1, 2, 3 because that is more than enough for the RDBMS. So the first normalization, they see, consider, I have here, just a minute. Consider I have your table. Suppose name, location. Suppose consider the company name called Oracle. We have in India, America, UK. So we have to keep the first normalization stating that we have to keep only homogeneous data. So it means that if a location means I should not mingle with anything. Suppose consider in India, I am telling that starting date, it was started in India is the 10th June 1995 and America 11th Jan 1971. So something like that, I merge all the data together and keeping in the table. So what it mean by the location, it contain India and 10th June 1995. So we have two different type of data type we are trying to store in a single column. So that they are telling that we have to keep homogeneous data, either it should be a string or it should be a date or it should be a time alone or it should be a large data, whatever. We have to keep, but it should be the homogeneous so that we can retrieve the data and we can use for any functionality in future. So we can delete these two and we can keep here. So 10th June 1980, something like that. So this is how. So even the if you see again location also even if both are string, but I am trying to merge so many information in a single column. That is also a problem, right? When I mean moved the data type as a separate column, but again I am finding some data to be merged together. So that is how in the first normalization they've gone with keeping the homogeneous data. And the second part, eliminating duplicate. Suppose location in India, that is fine. If you consider in India, I am keeping the Oracle, the same name, in Bangalore, in Chennai, in Hyderabad. So by the time, say, example, just one more example I am giving here. Something like provider software. So software provider, suppose consider Microsoft. What the software they have? VB, .NET, C#, and Oracle. They have Oracle apps. They have DB. They have a server. They have Bakel. And second, we can go to IBM. what IBM have, we can go to TB2, clarity, let's see. So whatever I told you, instead of this, how I can maintain? I can maintain in the different way. Again, I can keep MS, .NET, MS, C Sharp, Oracle, apps, Oracle, DB. So something like that, I can split the data and keep in the logically readable format so that it will be helpful. We go to the second normalization. So I think you are aware that what is primary key. So just for example, in a college, your register number should be a unique, not anything else. In a company, your employee ID is a unique. So to find out any data about you, we have to refer always your employee ID so that it is always better instead of going with your email ID or your name or your date of joining or your whatever the position, role, job role. Instead of that, better we can go with the unique, so that the second normalization form, it states that primary key should be there to find out any other information about you. Primary key should be the candidate key, so that to find any information about you, they have to use only the primary key, so that it is good. So, and the third normalization form, it has to fulfill the second one, and the and one more thing here they have to do. Suppose consider Gupta is there, Gupta employee ID and employee name, city,
Hi,
based on the
hi Selva. Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I'm not able to find the record option here. Will you be providing that file after your session is completed, or do we have a provision to record from our side?
Yeah, Lavanya, just for today, I'll be recording. This is Jilani. I'll be recording and I'll share with you. From today, tomorrow, we'll give
Okay.
the access to record you people. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for today,
Fine.
I'll be
Fine. No.
recording. I'll share the recording with you people. No worries. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Jilani. So the third normal form, what it says, we took the example of Gupta. Gupta has the employee ID, employee name, city and pin code. So here I can't find out here. So suppose consider employee ID, employee name, location, and the zip code or pin code. 101 Gupta something we say 56012, something like this. Suppose consider here employee ID is 01, employee name Gupta, location USA, zip 5602. We can find based on the employee ID, employee information, but finding the location or the zip code, it is not for the based on employee ID, right? Because in the same location and the same zip code, so many people will be there. So what we can do, we can break these two. We can break these two columns and we can keep in the separate table, so that we are normalizing again. So instead of keeping the same location and zip as a duplicate, suppose consider 1,000 people are there in the location of USA and zip code, the same location where Gupta stays. The same thing we don't want to repeat again, so we can normalize that. So what we can do, location ID, location. So here what we can do, location ID. So 900. So here what it say that, so whenever, suppose consider the location or the zip code in the future, uh, the government or I mean whoever they want to change the location name, instead of USA they want to change something else. How nowadays Chennai and Madras, so many things, Bengaluru and Bangalore, everything get changed. So that is how in future, suppose they want to update, if we keep the location here with 1,000 people, all 1,000 record has to be updated, but it should be in a million, right? So instead of that, we can keep here the separate table with the location ID, location, zip code, and the location description also we can give. So something like New Jersey or something, just simply we'll give. So the New Jersey name in future, they change something into, just they have to update the table of this one. So that based on the location ID, automatically when we join these two tables, we can get the data. So that is how the third normalization we used to do. So it means that what we are trying to do, we are trying to create the foreign key here. So primary key of the location ID, it's foreign key in the employee table. Got some idea? Okay, we'll go to the next. So we are, we've gone through some part of the COTS rules and how the normalization they implemented and all. Next, we have to go with what are the SQL statements. So SQL statements. So we have so many SQL statements. We call DDL, DML, TCL, and few more we have. Okay. So before going to the SQL statement, we should know that data types, because if we understand more about the data type, then working in the DDL or DML, it's very much easy. So in the data type, we have different types of data types, that is called data types. Character data types, number data types, date, so date data types, LOB, they call large object data types, XML type data type. So this is all the major part in the data types. So character data type, we'll go to character data type. So
Do you have
what is the
XML data type also?
Yes, we have. We'll explain and we will work around. No issues. I tell you that what it is. Okay, I will tell you. So character data type. So in character data type, again, we can go with char, var, or we can tell var to, and we tell raw, and we used to tell nchar, n var. So these are the major, and long also we can consider. Okay. So if you see in the character data set, we have char. So it means that, I mean, char and varchar, it looks similar, right? So there is a very minor difference. I tell you that because when RDBMS implemented the varchar, also I mean implemented along with that. So the char, it accepts at the maximum of 2000 bytes. Okay, so I accept maximum of 2000, and it is a fixed size. What is mean by fixed size? Suppose consider I am keeping character of 100, char of 100. When I create the table, I am keeping char of 100. So something like this, I am keeping char of 100. So what will happen for name? For first name, I am keeping character of 100. So in char of 100, what is the problem? Suppose consider the first name is Gupta. So it is only 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 characters are there. But even though Oracle occupy all 100 bytes of space, suppose I am taking Lavanya. So 6, 7 bytes. But even though Oracle occupy whatever the maximum I declared, the maximum size it occupy, it means that it occupy unnecessary some space. That is not good, right? So whatever the size we are giving, the same it has to be. So based on the length, it has to occupy the space. But here, character it is not like that. So whatever the size we declare, it occupy. So because of that, we always prefer to avoid character unless until when we use for any flag. Suppose consider character 1, it is yes or no, or male or female, FM, or standard or variable, yes, V, something like that. When we use for the flag to store single character, by the time we have to use char. Also, one more part I tell you after, discussing the varchar. So that is what the char. Next is the varchar. So we can see varchar and varchar2. It is something like a, anonymous name for the varchar or varchar2. There is no any difference between varchar and varchar2. The purpose of varchar2 is whatever we found some issue in the character, occupying the all space, whatever we declared, here it avoids. Suppose consider here instead of char, I am using varchar2. People use more with varchar2 than varchar, because here I mentioned varchar and varchar2, right? So they use varchar2 only more. So here varchar to 100. So when I use varchar 2 for the first name, how many for Gupta? It's 4, 5. Only 5 byte will be allocated for Gupta. The remaining 95 will be get cleared. It won't reserve any space. And when I save Lavanya, so only 7 bytes will be allocated. Remaining 93 will be released. So it means that whatever the size I needed, it occupy only those size, not that whole, like character, char. And I was telling that there is one more difference in char and varchar. Varchar 2, I should specify the size, how many bytes I have to allocate. But the same when I use the first name here in character, I don't need to specify the occupied, the number, the figure 100 we declared in varchar 2, right? So in char it is not mandatory, so that the char by default it takes single character. That is what I used to say, that we use more for the flag concepts. So yes or no, because the default size is 1 for char. So it means that for any flag or anything, just simply I can use char, so that either it should be yes or no, or 0 or 1, or any other flag. And next, it's a raw. Raw we can use maximum of 2000 bytes.
Sorry, is there a limitation for varchar? Like byte char is 2000 bytes. For varchar, is there a limitation for that, or like we can declare for any? I mean, is it unlimited data?
Yes. Sorry, yes, it is there 4000. 4000 it has. 4000 bytes.
Okay, is it same for varchar and varchar 2, or is it like?
Yeah. Both are same. There is no difference. Initially, it was implemented with varchar, and like even if you Google, you can get that it is a anonymous. I mean, the kind of synonym only. There is no any difference varchar and varchar. You can declare whatever the way.
Okay.
Actually, if we know the length of the field, it is better to use char than varchar.
We can't find out, right? The length of the space, yes, we know in certain where PAN card or Aadhaar number, because they have the string format and the size, right? Passport number. So for that, yes, we can use even char as well, because whatever the size we provide, it occupies the whole. But when I use for description or when I use for the name, we don't know that. We can tell that at the first name should be at the maximum of 200 characters. Somebody come up with even single. Yes, go ahead, Lavanya.
That is actually, if we know the length of the field, it is better to use char.
Yes, unless until some standard, standard structure.
So internally, is there any difference like how this char and varchar will be processed?
It's not audible, Lavanya, please.
Sorry, 1 second. Actually, what my question is like internally, is there any difference like how this character and varchar variable is processed? Because in case if we know the length of the field, we are using it as char. So like internally, is there any difference like if we use char, it will be processed fast, or if it is a varchar, like internally, is there any difference between?
No. Actually, internally in the sense, by the time of data, when we insert the data or when we update the data, so in char, it occupies the whatever we declared at the time of we created the table.
So only so in terms of memory.
Yes,
only
exactly.
In terms of memory, So
by the time it occupies all the space at one shot. but varchar it react whenever you insert the data.
Okay.
So character it react when we create the table, but varchar it react when we insert the data. So it is at the data level, that is creation of table level char is.
Okay, and there is no difference between varchar and varchar2, right?
No, 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 no.
Okay, then how come we have to actually, like, why we have this varchar and varchar2 then?
Yeah, yeah. That is what initially they were using varchar, and they
Okay,
started. I mean, if you want, I can find out with more. But as my experience, there is no difference between varchar and varchar 2.
2. Okay. Okay, fine, Selva. Thank you.
Okay. So next we'll go to raw. So here it's a maximum of 2000 bytes. So maximum of 2000 bytes. It used to store the binary string. I mean, a raw using is very rare. So unless until we work, I mean, in some very complex database or something, there only we use. In the client and application, client and server applications, I don't think the purpose. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yes, Gupta. I mean, just want to share that Gupta just he pinged me. So just he's trying to, I mean, share that information of varchar and varchar 2. So varchar, uh, it can, I mean, identify the null and the empty string in varchar, and varchar 2 it won't. So yes, because I mean nowadays what is happening, if you keep with the single string, suppose single string in the sense a single empty space. Suppose consider the first name, there is no first name and you are trying to keep with single space. So by default Oracle accept as a null. When it is more than, I mean when it is only empty space, just you are keep on I mean typing the space button and trying to save with space. So it find out with that ANSI code, and if it is only that space, then it considers a null. But here in varchar 2, it's not null. That is what he is trying to say. But I mean, in the real life, I mean, we won't, I mean, keep null, because whoever familiar with the database, because everybody is not going to work in the database, right? So whenever they try to keep its empty string, so it consider automatically divert into the null. Thanks, Gupta. So for next we go to the nchar and nvarchar. So usually we store most of the case in the, I mean, Unicode, something like English language or something. But you want to save in Telugu or Kannada or Japanese or any other data type. I mean the font string, any other script you want to save as a character. By the time we use nchar. So nchar also same, but the only difference is that it is a NLS string. Okay. Suppose consider the NLS. Suppose consider here I am using first name as a nchar of 100. So logically it accepts 2 times of the memory size. Okay, suppose 100 means, suppose consider Gupta. Gupta has some on top of a some special character like title symbol or some cap symbol, something and all. So automatically it consider as a nchar. So here If you find out the length of Gupta, suppose, I mean, we were talking that the size is only 5. But when you try to find out the length with special character, it come up with 10. So it considers a additional character. Whatever the special character present, it considers the double the size. So that is why to support all other languages, Oracle implemented with nchar, nvarchar. Nchar and nvarchar. There is no any other difference between the nchar and nvarchar. By the time of inserting the data, we can find out, and when we retrieve the length of the data, it gives the double, not as a regular one. That is what. And long. Long is the maximum of 2 GB, and it is something like some data which has some, you want to save some paragraph, or which is, I mean, very huge. So by the time we can use long. The long we cannot use in the order by clause and all. It has some constraint. I'll tell you that when we start creating the table. Because in the search criteria or doing some order by, because when we have the huge data in the sense, like consider like kind of essay, I mean 2-3 times more than the regular essay. So the Oracle engine doesn't know that how to sort. It is not just based on the first character or something, right? When it is a huge, it's very difficult to find out. So that is what the long we use. Next we go to number data type. So number, we have the float, and we have the decimal as well. So when I declare the number, I can, when I declare just number, suppose consider I am trying to create salary in number. So what will happen here, only I am giving some 10 or something, okay. So here what will happen, it accepts only up to 10 digits, there is no decimal point, okay, because when I declared as a salary number of 10, it accepts the whole string, it won't give any the precision. But when I try to give 10, 2, sorry, 10, 2, then it considers as a precision with the decimal point. So what it may mean by, so whenever I want the whole, figure, by the time I can declare as a number, but whenever you are going for any currency conversion or any value which should have the decimal points, then it is always better we can go with the float. So that is more, because float, as you know, float always support with the decimal points. So in the float, okay, in the decimal points, here it is the range, the precision range up to 38 decimals it will support usually, okay. Suppose consider I am giving salary decimal 2, 1, okay. So it means that 100.2. That is, it's a very simple. There is, there is not much to, discuss more. So, it accepts as a float, okay. And the date data type. So date we can say with the timestamp or only the data, only date alone. So that and all we can do.
Selva, actually,
Yes.
when you go to that word, MS Word,
Yes, yes.
Yeah, can you go to that WordPad?
Yes, I am in.
The other one
Okay,
where
fish
you are
store.
showing 10 comma 2. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. So there when we give salary number of 10 comma 2, that means the total number of thing is 10. That means like before the decimal point it will accept up to 8 and after it will be 2, right?
Sorry, sorry.
So the salary
Yes,
number 10 comma 2 you have given, right?
yes, yes, yes.
So like how many digits it will store before the point and after the point?
10 comma 2.
Yeah, so the
The number you
total,
are talking.
yeah. The
Yes,
maximum
yes.
number of digits allowed before and after. So it will be 8 before the decimal point and 2 after the decimal point, right?
This is the one you are talking. Which one I
Yes.
highlighted?
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
I'm not audible.
Yes, yes, yes. You
Hello?
are audible. No
Yeah.
issue. You are
So
audible.
like my question is like when we say number 10 comma 2, that means the total length of the thing is 10. That is like it will allow 8 before the decimal point and 2 points after the decimal, right?
Yes.
Okay, and when it comes to decimal 2 comma 10, can it be 100.2 like how it is? I did not get that. So it can store 100.2 in that, because now this 100 is like it is coming, the maximum can be stored is 99 only, right? But this 100 is actually 3 digits.
1 minute.
Okay.
So here, see in this example, just I am showing. So decimal, it consider all the digits. Okay. Suppose consider. So bonus number. So here I am declaring salary for number, bonus also number. 1 minute. I create one more table. ABC1. Bonus is a decimal. Okay. ABC1. When I give, I am created here ABC1 table. The salary I gave 2.1 and bonus is a 0.50. It accepted. When I try to give 11, okay, the number won't accept because we declared the maximum of 2 size only. So including the decimal points.
Okay, so we can give till up to 9.9, right? Will 9.9 be accepted?
Here,
If it's to, yeah, no, it's not accepting. I
okay.
think no, okay.
So here we declared the maximum 2 of 2. So only
So
0.5 is allowed.
the decimal 2 of 2 means like what all values it can save?
Sorry, 2 of 2.
Yeah.
So if I give 0.50, then at the maximum. So the decimal places up to 2. If I give 0.508, is accepting. Okay, I will work around this
Yeah.
and get back to you. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for bringing this.
Yeah.
So next we have that date data type. In the date, either we can use date alone or the timestamp. So, I mean the date format in general, so whatever the date we want to, yes, we can go ahead. If it is a timestamp, either I want to in the format of 24 hours or the 12 hours, just I can split with that HH, mm and seconds. Okay, so hour, minutes and second. So this format I can go with either 24 hours format or the regular one. The timestamp they use whenever they, even in Aadhaar card also they used to capture the timestamp and all, right. Date it is in general, and next it is a log. So large object we can keep. So large object in the sense what we can keep. We can save a image. We can keep any even like videos also we can keep in the file. So this is also again divided into CLOB, BLOB. Okay, glob and blob they called. So CLOB glob. So it store the strings. Okay, strings or any the gender format we can keep up to 4 GB in the 11. We can keep up to 4 GB in glob. Okay, so the glob they mostly use when they try to convert the XML data type into kind of string. String the sense string it accept some certain limit is there, right? So by the time they use the XML type. So glob and the blob, that is for it convert into the binary mode and save. That is a major difference between the blob and clob. So it is called unstructured binary object. Okay, whatever the object we are trying to save, it would be in the unstructured and it is a binary format, but clob directly. So when you try to click clob column from Toad or SQL developer, it automatically just pop up and we can open from there whatever the image or whatever the string they have stored in the large object. And the XML type. The XML type, suppose consider when I select a query, usually it comes with the table format. Okay, but I don't want in the table format. When I open the string, suppose consider I am selecting 100 employees. So 100 employees has to come with the with XML element. Okay, so the column name with the XML element name and inside the data. So that is how it has to come. So example, we go, suppose consider select star from. So employee, we are getting in the table format, right? So I don't want the table format. I want in the XML format. So by that time, what I can do, so we can change the data type, all the data type. Here we have so many different data type, something like a varchar, numeric, date, everything gathered. So I can convert everything into the XML data type and I can show you the data in the XML format. So that's why the XML type data type is very much useful. Yeah, I mean with the XML type you can either read the XML file and insert the data into the table, or you can write directly populate the data in the XML format. So that is what the major data types in Oracle. We have few more in the SQL part I am talking. When we go to the PL SQL, we have few more which SQL can't support. That we will see later. Okay. So any doubt on this about the data types, Gupta and Lavanya?
What is the difference between this CLOB and BLOB? They both store images, right? Images and pictures in the binary format.
Binary format, yes. So
Okay.
BLOB and CLOB, suppose consider here consider the salary is their column. Sir, not salary. So email will take the email string is there. So here what happens when suppose consider this is a CLOB. Okay, when you try to click, it will get open. So from here directly you can open. So directly it's a readable format. But CLOP it is not like that. It convert into the binary character and save. So only we have to retrieve from the proper method, then only we can able to see whatever. So it is something like unstructured binary mode. Got Lavanya?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So is it possible to search the string or content anything in the glob or CLOB or below? For example, I'm storing some content in the glob. So suppose if I want to search some data, because the 4 GB you said like maximum size, but the
Yes.
huge and the maximum that is very difficult. In the suppose if I store the file in Notepad, like it's very difficult to open the file also. So how it's possible to search the keyword in the glob?
Yes, basically CLOP, they won't search any keyword actually. Something like, when we told in long itself, we can't search because when it is here, huge data, we can't search. Because, searching in CLOP, it is not that easy. And usually they won't, logically, whatever I booked, they won't search anything in the CLOP because, for example, consider they are creating some invoice. At the end of the invoice, they have to just attach some set of rules and regulation what the business had the tie-up. Okay, so for each invoice, they have to attach that as well along with that. So by the time what they will do, they attach all the rules and regulation with the CLOB. CLOB it's not required because as long as there, just I'm taking as an example. So from there directly they can get the data and populate at the end of the invoice. That is how it used to happen.
For example, like you said, like char 2000 KB and varchar is 4000 KB, I remember.
Yes, yes.
Suppose if I get more than that data, if I want to store in the table, like if I get like 10 MB file, but I want to search the word in the suppose I want to see if I put any keyword something, it has to be displayed in the search result. So in this case, like what we need to go for that? Which data type we have to choose it?
Supports more than the regular size. Apart from the char varchar you are talking.
Yeah, example, I have the 10 MB file.
Yes. Okay. So first thing in 10 MB file, 10 MB I think we can keep in clock. So the basic scenario, I don't think it will be like just a minute. I just do with you. Inserting to ABC2 because I give you the due date. Blocker or something. Just a minute, I'll try to open some file which has the huge data. I'm not sure whether which one we have. So it has so many, colon, so that it is considered. I will start from ABC to where remarks like user. So when it is, based on, because when you try to go with a very, large, in the 11G, yes, it will retrieve the data, but as you told, if it is a 4 GB file, I am trying to, save and finding out, definitely it will take, where the performance issue comes. In general, it won't happen. Searching a particular keyword in the 4 GB data file. Gupta, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, in general, it won't happen logically if you see, but even though, yes, because just I took some set of data in the sense just I tried to store, not sure how much this is. Definitely it would be in KB. So even though just I tried with searching, yes, we can search, but if the data is fully occupied with 4 GB or 2 GB, whatever, search it's again, it will be a kind of, yes, it will take some seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So just we gone through the, data types, what are the data types available. So tomorrow we'll start with the, just we can, the first of we can finish up the DDL statement. From then we can start the all the DML activities, especially the select statement, how we can use, as Lavanya, she asked, how to use that all analytical function and all. Yes, we can, cover in another 2-3 session, no issues. Before that, you both have Oracle Access, Oracle Database. Have you installed?
Yeah, I have on my PC.
Okay, so you have that Expression Edition or something like you can use which you use at work location.
No, it's just a standard edition I have in my personal computer, like the free download from Oracle
Ah,
website.
okay, good then. Which version you installed, Lavanya?
11G.
Okay,
11G.
great. I think probably it is Expression Edition, whatever you are talking.
Okay.
Gupta?
Yeah, actually I installed XE version, but also I would
Okay.
install 12C. It's very slow my laptop, so I'm not using that. Only I disabled all the
Okay.
services. I'm using only
Okay.
XE.
Okay, fine then. Then that's good. So do you use any other tool to access the database, Toad or SQL Developer?
Yeah, I have the SQL developer.
Okay. Lavanya?
Yeah, I'm also using SQL Developer.
Okay, fine then. Because I'm here using Toad.
Okay.
Okay, fine then. Yeah, we need any tool to access in the GUI perspective, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Today we just will wind up. From tomorrow we'll go through the, DDL and the DMS statement and how it
Okay.
works. Okay. We'll go
Yeah.
with more practical than what we discussed in the theoretical part, so that it will give more idea.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you, Gupta.
Yeah.